What is up, everybody? Star Wars Dad back for another video. Today we're going to be looking at Quinlan Blue. I have not got around to testing out the red version. I know that's a pretty popular version because it just makes sense with your pinging things and using red, red removal spells as well as red units to ping things more or spread damage more. This version, though, has been a ton of fun and it's been very strong. This is, I think, I haven't messed around with the ECL either. I'm sure that ECL is good. I mean, Quinlan flips on 5 and it's a 3/7, so it's going to be good in a lot of different colors. I think figuring out which color is the best is really just, some of it's going to depend on your playstyle, some of it's just going to depend on how the meta shakes out. I always like blue as a good starting point because blue has really good removal. And in this case, blue has very strong Jedis, and then it has the restore too, so that also gives you a little bit of cushion in case things aren't going perfect. So the first thing I want to say about this deck is the initial ability of when you play a unit, it's fine. It doesn't always work out where you play a unit that's the same cost as your opponent's units in play. So a lot of things have to go right for that to make sense. Turn 1 is usually pretty easy because you just play a Guardian and they play a 2-drop and you ping them for 1. Pretty much after that, it really could go any direction. Like that ability is like subtle. It's very subtle, but it fits nicely, very nicely with Mystic Reflection and the Jedi lightsaber from testing. Also with Forces with Me, because you're pinging things, making them a little bit weaker, and that adds up over time because it's just enough to get you in a place to kill things. The way that the style of play for this deck for me so far in testing, again, obviously this is against AI, it's not optimal, it's not on Carabas yet to test things out online, is to play this more defensively. I'm just trying to stabilize the Quinlan Vos turn, the Quinlan Vos flip turn. I'm really just trying to really just take over the board at that point. Once it flips, it's very strong, and its ability becomes a lot better because it's just as long as you play a unit that's strong or higher than the cost or equal to the cost of any unit in play. So that is a very strong ability. So then you want to just try to keep Quinlan Vos alive, and you use things like Obi-Wan the following turn, or you use Jedi Lightsaber to keep Quinlan Vos. It already does a pretty good job of staying alive, though, because it's a 3/7, but with the Jedi Lightsaber it becomes a 6/10, so it's just a lot harder to kill at that point. Whatever unit that you have the Jedi Lightsaber on, ideally, you're just using it to play defense with that unit, just to kill any threats, because you're getting it -2/-2, and then you're attacking in. Typically, that unit can survive. Even like Ahsoka has a lightsaber, it's a 6/7, swinging in at everything -2/-2. Then you can use Mystic Reflection to finish things off for just 1 resource. The 3-cost removal that's new, I think it's again, it's kind of like Quinlan Vos's initial ability. It's very situational. I definitely think it has potential in the right build, but I feel like it's more of a control build, which this is more of a unit build where I'm just trying to use my units to take over the game quickly. And the great thing about your units in here is that a lot of them just give you advantages with things subtly without you having to do anything different than just attacking, which is really awesome. The card draw in here is amazing. We have 2 Yoda that when it dies we get a card. We have Ezra that allows us to play things from the top of our deck or to cycle the top of our deck. We have Obi-Wan, which when it dies, if we're going to put the 2 experience tokens on a Force unit because we have mostly Force units, which is really great. So we're maximizing that ability, and then we get to draw a card. And then Ki-Adi-Mundi. Ki-Adi-Mundi is absolutely nuts. That is your best turn 2 play in this deck when you get to pull off the combo of playing now. There are 2 of them. That's the best card. Plo Koon is good too because it just immediately ambushes in and kills something. But Ki-Adi-Mundi just immediately puts your opponent in a place of, well, if I play 2 units this turn or 2 cards this turn, he's going to draw 2 cards. And that just starts to add up quickly. If I get to do that once, it's already served its purpose, especially with it being out there on turn 2. If I get to do this multiple times, my chances of winning drastically increase because I'm just getting so much card advantage without doing anything. It's just a passive ability that when my opponent plays their second card, each phase, you may draw 2 cards. That's just an insane ability. I think that card is just so good. When I first saw it, I was like, this card's amazing. But then when I saw that you could play Now There Are 2 of them and you get it out on turn 2, then I was just like, holy shnikes, I want to play that card in this deck. So let's kind of break down the list and kind of walk you through. Then we'll do a little bit of test games just to kind of show you how things work and some of the lines of play. And I'll try my best to explain the card choices in here and my thinking. I have messed around with this a lot the last 3 or 4 days. I've been really enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. It's very good. It's very consistent. So turn 1, you want to be able to play Barriss, Offee, which is just not a good card. Like it dies to so many things on turn 1. That's why there's only 2 copies. It's really in here just to occasionally pull off a turn 1 Mystic Reflection, as well as just have another additional force unit to play on turn 1. Guardian and Grogu are much better choices, although Grogu doesn't die very easily, but Guardian does. But the idea is that occasionally you don't want to just focus a deck on just pulling off the Now There Are 2 of them combo, especially when the force units we have on turn 1 are just like 2 of the 3 of them are mediocre at best. Not Grogu is very good, but it's hard, so you don't want to just focus on that. When you do pull it off, it's amazing. So let's say we play Grogu turn 1, and our opponent cannot kill Grogu with anything, with any McClunkies or any nonsense. Turn 2, we immediately play Now There Are 2 of them, and we pull out Ki-Adi-Mundi or Plo Koon. Again, Ki-Adi-Mundi is my preference play on turn 2 because it is a 5/7. We can immediately follow it up by playing Forces with Me or a Jedi Lightsaber to pump that card up the following turn just to make it even harder to kill, depending on what we're playing against. If we're playing against more aggressive decks, pumping it up is great. Jedi Lightsaber is amazing against aggro decks. If we're playing Boba, we're probably just not going to do either of those unless we're trying to kill something important like a Boba unit or the leader itself. And we would follow that up with a different play, probably just to go wide. So that's the combo that you can pull off. It's amazing when you do pull it off because it says you have to exactly have one unit that shares a trait. So you're basically, you have your 1 force unit out, and then you're trying to pull that off on turn 2. It's definitely good later in the game if you only have 1 unit out there for some reason. Maybe your opponent's killed a few of your units, or maybe you got board wiped. Then it becomes really nice because you can cheat things out for 5 less, which is awesome. So you can play like a Luke Skywalker at 5 resources, for example, because you cheated out for 5 less. It cost 2, but 3 plus 3, so 5 cost. That's really nice. It definitely has uses. It's an amazing card. That's the reason that you play it in this deck. And you want to play, obviously, you want to have payoffs, so that's why we have, 3 Ki-Adi-Mundi, 3 Plo Koon, 3 Obi-Wan, 3 Luke, because they all share a force unit trait. There are some other Jedis, obviously, that you could absolutely build this deck around. But again, I looked at Rey. I think Rey is better in more of an Obi-Wan type deck because you're focusing more on healing. And it just has 4/7 stats where Plo Koon's a 6/6 and Ki-Adi-Mundi's a 5/7, and they both have, one has ambush and the other has the subtle card draw. I'm not as focused on healing my units in this version. It has Rey has the synergy with Barriss, but Barriss sucks. So how often is that going to come out and work together? Originally, I had 2/2/2 of the 3/5 drops, just again because I didn't want to focus completely on that combo. But this has felt really good with the 2, maximizing the Ki-Adi-Mundi and the Plo Koon because both those cards are insanely good. Obviously, there are other options to activate that combo are Guardian or Barriss on turn 1, but like I said, they're much more susceptible to dying if you don't immediately get the initiative after you play them. And a good player is just going to be like, no, you're not doing that thing. So that's, but you still want to try. but you want to have a backup plan. You want to be able to play a backup 3-drop, and that's why there's a lot of 3-drops in here, in case you can't pull off the combo because your opponent wrecks your plan. So you have 2 Yoda, obviously for the Resource 2 and the card draw, 3 Ezra for the card advantage. Both, the 3-4 stats are all good. Every single one of your 3-drops has 4 toughness, which is amazing. 3 Falcon is really nice. A lot of times I'll play Falcon and then send it back to my hand so I can play better things the following turn. It's also a really nice card just to finish out the game and just, to deal with things in space on turn 2. Ahsoka has felt mediocre. I think it's going to be really good against decks that go wide because it'll have ambush and I'll have less units than them. But decks that are kind of matching the pace of me, it's just a 3-4. So it's nice to be able to return it to his hand, but I've never used that before. I don't think it's that relevant in this particular playstyle with this deck. Mystic Reflection is very good. Again, I explained, with the pinging with Quinlan, especially on the flip, it makes things very killable. It has a lot of synergy with Jedi Lightsaber. Those two work so well together, especially for bigger units. If you get into a place where you have like an Obi-Wan out on the ground to protect your units, and you have like a Plo Koon or a Ki-Adi-Mundi, and then you have Quinlan Vos, and Obi-Wan's kind of protecting them, and then you can pump it up, and you can play Jedi Lightsaber, and you're just using your Jedi Lightsaber unit to take out their threats. It's really hard for your opponent to deal with that. Again, I'm playing on Force Table, but you can kind of see the lines of play and see, like, this is going to be good. A couple of Restored Arc, I didn't mention that, just to have a turn 1 space unit in case we don't pull off a Force unit. Just gives us another turn 1 play, and it's just nice to have that subtle life gain to help us to stabilize. Usually, again, around the Quinlan flip turn is when we start to take over the game. And you kind of see that from these games today, where that flip is just so strong. And it aligns so well, like with Plo Koon. It activates Plo Koon's Coordinate to make it a 6/6 ambush on turn 4, which is nuts. Or even if you've already cheated it out, with now there are 2 of them on turn 2, then it's Plo Koon is still alive. It's definitely going to be a 6/6 by then. And obviously its ability gets a lot better. Jedi Lightsaber is absolutely amazing in here. Especially like doing things like attacking in with Ezra and then being able to play the lightsaber on one of your units, when you get to 6, 7, 8 resources, and just being able to pull that out. But just in general, like a turn 2 Jedi Lightsaber on a Guardian or a Grogu, it just immediately makes, I guess Guardian's better for power because you're getting a 5 power. Grogu's better for staying alive longer because it has 8 health after that. But Jedi Lightsaber is just so good against aggro decks that don't play Waylay effects. Because they have to deal with it. Force Choke is an answer. Things like that are an answer, absolutely. But it does make it a lot harder, and immediately they have to deal with it. Kanan, just a very strong 4-drop. Gain subtle life. Good Jedi Lightsaber target. So we have a very good curve in this deck. It's like I said, it's very consistent. So we're like playing Kanan. We might play Force This With Me on the 4 resource turn. Razor Crest we're typically not playing at that time. I do have a second copy of the sideboard to get our lightsabers back. But it's just really nice as a tech card, and then the Resource 2 is really nice. And this is also just a good body. It's a 3/4. I've always liked that card a lot. 2 Fel the Dragon. Again, I've said this in other videos. I just think Fel the Dragon is going to be extremely important in this set 3. There's so many big units. There's an argument that it needs to be a 3rd copy in the side. But I kind of tried to be diverse a little bit in the sideboard. Ki-Adi-Mundi's absolutely one of your MVPs. Plo Koon is one of your MVPs. Such a fun card, so good, especially on curve. Like I said, flip Quinlan. A lot of times though, you can't flip Quinlan, so Plo Koon just comes in with the ambush as a 3/6, and you don't get the coordinate rate 3. So that does stink for sure, but sometimes it's necessary to take something out that's already been damaged. Obi-Wan is very, very good in here. Again, you can cheat it in as well with now there are 2 of them on your 4 resource turn, which is really nice. Just so good in here because of how much force synergy you have. Just makes the card even better. A Jedi lightsaber on Obi-Wan is obviously absolutely disgusting. A Jedi lightsaber on Ki-Adi-Mundi is disgusting because it's an 8-9, like I said, on turn 3, if you're able to cheat it out. An Obi-Wan is a 7-9. And then, of course, you're able to cheat out Luke at 5 resources if you only have 1 unit out. Luke is also very, very good in here because when Quinlan Vos is out there, the unit is out there, then Luke Skywalker can multi-kill things, which is insane for a unit to come into play and multi-kill things. So you can do 1 damage to any unit and kill something, and then you can use Luke's ability to do -3/3 or -6/6. So the double kill Luke play is insane. So this deck is going to be good. It's very good. Redemption is just a 1 of in the main, 1 on the side, just to have for those matchups where we get a little bit behind, to have a little more restore as a safety net. 2 Devotion in the sideboard because we are more unit focused, so I think it's a better choice than Vigilance because it's cheaper and we can make, our space units stronger, which is a lot of times a thing that is important, like making a Falcon a 4/5 with Restore 2 is really strong. Restore Arc become a 3/4 with Restore 3 is really strong. Razor Crest becomes a 4/5 with Restore 4 is really strong. You get my drift. 3 Spark Rebellion for those control matchups. 2 Waylay I think is relevant as another option, kind of similar to Fell the Dragon, to deal with bigger threats. We're not going to be using that early on. We have a lot of ways to deal with units early on. It's more for those matchups that are going to go a lot longer, more mid-range control matchups where Waylay becomes a lot more important as a cheap way to deal with things. Another Razor Crest in the side as a way to bring back our Jedi lightsabers for more aggro matchups, so we can get those back when our unit dies. A good opponent's going to try to deal with that Jedi lightsaber unit when they're not attacking, so that they can kill it easier. 1 Rival's Fall just has a different answer for leader units, really, as an additional, kind of the 3rd copy of Fell the Dragon, essentially. And then that 2nd copy of Redemption for, I'd say more for like Boba, because it's very good against Boba with the Sentinel with the life gain. Just a strong Sentinel in space for, more space-heavy decks too. So that is the list. It's extremely fun, extremely strong. Absolutely let me know your thoughts, what Quinlan Vos decks that you have tried out. Again, I haven't tried out green and red yet. I mean, you have to, it takes 2 or 3 days to test the deck out. So I don't have tons of time, but this one has been a lot of fun and it's felt very strong. I really enjoy the synergies, the Force synergies. I really enjoy Ki-Adi-Mundi and Plo Koon. Those 2 cards are so great. Obviously, in the red version, you're going to do more of the Force throw with Barriss, where Barriss becomes a lot more important because you can play through. You're going to play 3 Barriss, so you can have Force throw activated on turn 1. Because Force throw is just stronger than Mystic Reflection, I think. Mystic Reflection has been really good though, but the red version is going to be a little different for sure. But let me get into these games and kind of show you guys how this deck works. As always, please like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. We are like so close to 2,500. I think we're like less than 10 subscribers. So please help me get to 2,500. I greatly appreciate it. And then make sure you sign up for the giveaway because I'm about to give away a bunch of free stuff once I hit 2,500. But let's get into some games. And all right, playing a little Quinlan Vos here. This hand's fine. I think we're gonna let go of Obi-Wan and probably Ahsoka. What I always find with this card is like, unless you're playing a deck that goes wide, this card never gets to ambush. So I'd rather have the card advantage. I'm trying to think if I want. I mean, it's still a 3/4, so we'll keep it. We'll keep it this time. Just get rid of those 2. Just because Guardian does activate things right away if we find the card. Okay. Take the initiative. See what we find here. We did not find the card. I like Kanan. gonna hold on to Luke so we have a good finisher here. Guardian's not doing much here, so we'll kind of just attack in, see what they do. Okay. So we're just playing Ezra. Ezra's a good card to have down. We cannot deal damage to anything, but I'll just do it anyways. So to me, the leader ability, when it's not deployed, is it's like passive. It's like sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. Could play that. I'd rather just play Kanan though. Yeah, we're just gonna get rid of that. Okay. Alright, goodbye, Guardian. Get that. Could have played Falcon there, but I'd rather have the restore against a deck like this. This card is disgusting, especially when you play it on turn 2, but in general, this card is just good, always. I love that card. Let go of an Ezra, might be able to squeeze in one of this card at some point for maybe. We haven't found any of our Mystic Reflections yet. I think we're gonna go ahead and kill this. So what that, okay, died. Okay, let's just go ahead and attack into Sabine to make it weaker, gain a little bit of life. Okay, that's fine. Get this down. That is, again, I think I did that wrong. Yeah, I should have flipped first, but that's okay. Oh well. Okay. I mean, what's great about this card is definitely when it's out there, because you can just start to really take over the game with its ability. This card and this card are so good to have out on the field at the same time. So we can get a lot of units down this turn, which is really nice. What does this have? 5 HP. So we'll go Falcon. Okay. There you go. That's the ability. Just such a great passive ability. Just replenish my hand and fill it with stuff. That's a great card. It has how much HP? 7 HP left now. And so it's really going to take our entire team to kill it here, but I think it's worth the trade, especially because we can literally wipe their board now. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. And we got value out of this already. So gain a little life. Take some damage. Can't kill this with Quinlan, so let's do it like this. What do we want more of? Grogu. Probably Grogu. Yeah, no. Can kill that. This isn't doing anything this turn. So let's just let Quinlan die. And then we're going to take out, because I want to keep this alive, because it gets a lot better with a Jedi lightsaber, and keep that passive ability going. And so on the flip turn, we kind of take over the game. They did get a lot of damage on us. Okay, we do have Luke now to kind of get us back. I'm going to let Falcon come back to my hand. I want to be able to play Luke. Yep, and that's a great Luke card. Or Luke target. Okay. Interesting. Yes, gotta love this card, right? Because our HP is so bad, I'm just going to swing in. It still survives because of its 7 health, which is amazing. And now we should be at the place where we take over. We don't need 2 Falcons. This card's amazing too. So that was like an example of a game that didn't go great, but we're still able to stabilize. This is a great time for this. Just to immediately kill it. Sure. Could have flipped. We could have used Grogu there, but not really a reason to. And then we bring Falcon back to close the game out. So, a lot of these games, I can get it to where I just dominate Sabine and they get under 10 damage on me. So let's do one more to kind of see if I can show you that. This one was like an example of things not going perfect. I did make a little bit of a mistake on not flipping Quinlan first, but I don't think that affected the game too much. Okay, so we have, now there are 2 of them online, as long as our turn 1 play doesn't die. So no, we're not going to take a mulligan. I'm going to let this and this. Our backup plan if they kill Guardian is to play Ezra. Don't care about that, we want to have the initiative. They did not kill, which they may have in a different situation. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just get out Plo Koon. It's not going to have ambush, but it is going to be out there on turn 2, which is amazing. Yeah, it's not the same, so we cannot do that. We cannot ambush. Wait, what? Oh, it already has ambush. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting that. Yes, so we ambush that in, which is amazing. So we have that now. So he kills Guardian here. Whatever, we don't care. Not a problem. Okay, fell. I think we can let Ezra go. We're probably just going to go Kanan here. If they could ECL and kill us. So I guess it just makes sense to just kill this. Yeah, I don't want to get ECL'd by K2SO. I want to at least get value. And just stay on curve. Okay, that is fine. Okay, he's going face, makes sense. Let that go. This is kind of tricky because of the fact that the coordinate ability is not active yet. We're just trying to play defense right now and remove their threats. Okay, he did go for the kill, which is fine. It wasn't going to be a different result. Go ahead and ping Sabine. Swing in here. If we draw into a Mystic Reflection, that would be nice. Jedi Lightsaber is also nice. Let Fel go. Jedi Lightsaber and Yoda are good. Okay. Not sure why they did that. Taken 2 damage there with our life gain unit. So that's fine. Okay. I think we'll make Quinlan harder to kill. And just kind of take care of their board. There's the Mystic Reflection. That card has not been showing up lately. Or it's been showing up at the worst time. Okay, Pathfinder. Now we're just kind of catching up to things. Yes, we'll draw 2 cards. Obi-Wan's good. This can kill Koh-to-yah, so let's go ahead and do that. Jedi lightsaber is so amazing. Guess we could have killed Koh-to-yah with that, so that this didn't take damage. Because of the pinging, all of the pinging. Okay, a couple missed reflections here is really good. I think at this point, though, we are just closing the game out. I absolutely love this card. I mean, just being able to literally do nothing and just win the game by literally doing nothing is just such a good feeling. I don't know how else to explain that. We can kill both of these units, so let's trigger in here. I think we already have a game anyways, but just to kind of show you how this stuff goes. And then there you go. So being able to get the first Plo Koon out on turn 2 was really awesome. Just to get that down and then to activate its coordinate ability. We were not able to do that though at first. Actually, I do think the best card to get down on turn 2 is this one, just because it's already got 5 power and then it's got 7 health, and then it's such a good lightsaber target on the Sabine turn, because then you have an 8/9, and at that point, what are they going to do? You have an 8/9 that gives them -2/2 when you attack in. So Sabine has no chance against that card. And then you're just getting card advantage because Sabine wants to play 2 things a turn. So this card's very good against Sabine. It's also very good against Control. I mean, obviously Control has better answers for it, but it's a card that is consistently very good to play against them because they want to, use multiple cards in a turn to try to gain card advantage or removal spells to try to deal with your threats, and you're getting to draw cards every time that they do that until they remove it, and then you just, meanwhile you're going wide and putting more and more pressure on them. So it's a very, very good card. Alright, how does this hand feel? This hand feels almost really good. We just needed a turn 1 play, which we did not get. So we're gonna let this one go. Alright. Not a good hand either. Redemption is pretty good, so we're probably going Ezra into what? Forces with me or Razor Crest. Obi-Wan's really good too. Mystic Reflection isn't bad if we have a Force unit out, but again, this is not an ideal hand because we don't have a turn 1 play. I think the other hand was a better keep. These are tough because Redemption can be really good because it's also a Sentinel. Redemption's good against Boba. Razor Crest is good because of its stats. I think we're not going to have an opportunity to play this early, so 3, 4, 5, yeah. That's okay. Well, that's nice. Both these cards would have been great. The following turn, we could play this next turn, right? Jedi lightsaber is good against Boba. Boba. can't remember if I'm able to play this immediately. First unit you play on this unit each round costs 1 less. Maybe. Guess we'll find out, right? Okay. So it becomes a 3/5. So forces with me wouldn't have been a bad option now. Another Obi-Wan. Grogu's not bad. I like to keep this card in my hand whenever I have this, especially because we only have one on the main board. I want to try to see if I can play the lightsaber this turn. I could just play it here, but it's a 1-drop. Okay, I can. It says on this unit. I don't know why it's even allowing me to play on Ezra. That doesn't make sense. Okay, there's our guy. We're just gonna go here. Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, we want that for sure. Okay, well, immediately it dies. But we do have a card that can kill Boba, as long as it doesn't have armor. Okay, that's fine. Falcon's good, but again, I'd rather have the rest of these. I think they're better. Let's just go ahead and attack in here and kill this. Take 4, I believe, right? Okay. We're gonna deploy. I think let's put this down. Get rid of the shield here. Okay. So redemption is going to be important. Okay, so we're getting into our restore units, I think, is now a good time. Could play Obi-Wan here first. I think that's a good idea to protect my units and start slowly killing the 7th Fleet Defender also. And then let's try to start catching up a little bit. Okay. Alright, now we have Luke to kill Consortium. And redemption to gain our life back. So we'll do a double kill here, which is disgusting. Ooh, ooh. God, I love that. We're gonna go ahead and just kill that and take all their threats off the board. Especially because now we are taking over the game. Yep. He cannot get around Obi-Wan here, so what does he have? 5 HP? He can't kill Obi-Wan yet. And he looks like he is opposed to attacking for some reason. And now we quickly close out the game because we have so much power. And now, Razor Crest gets us a Jedi lightsaber back. Okay, that's a thing. I mean, we could just play Forces with me and just win the game, though. So, it would have gotten the lightsaber back if we needed it. But we're just going to do this. And win the game. So, you can play Surprise Strike in here. I don't think it's necessary. I get why it makes sense. It's a good card. Instead of playing Surprise Strike, I chose to play a little more conservative and have a little more restore units in my list. But I absolutely think that Surprise Strike could be very good in here just to help you early on if you don't find the lightsaber, as another way to just kill things and kill threats so that you can stabilize into your powerful units. We're going to keep this hand. Trying to think what is the line we want to go here. We want to have plays a return. We definitely have to let go of one. I think our next decision is, are we playing Falcon or are we going Jedi lightsaber? I want to have the option of being able to play now there are two of them into Ki-Adi-Mundi, because it is amazing against this deck. It's amazing against every deck, especially on turn 2. I don't want to get rid of the lightsaber. That is the 5th game in a row that I have been bazined on turn 1. It is incredibly annoying that it happens every single game. We did not find the combo. Okay, so since they're doing that, we're gonna do this. Just kill that thing, get it away. Okay, well, that's a good card to find. I could have squeezed that in, but we're just going to play now. There are two of them. Get out. Ki-Adi-Mundi. We're going to attack in with Grogu and take 2 damage on our Grogu. Okay, and then sure. Mystic Reflection, Ezra, Kanan. Okay. Just gonna go Plo Koon here. Kill Grogu. They could have something with ambush at 6. Absolutely. I think I still want to risk it where I save the Plo Koon for something else. That way we have 3 units out. Okay, Garrido is... That's a good Quinlan Vos target. Okay. It's another decent one. I'm just gonna get Kanan down to establish another Bazine. Yay! Okay. So we are just getting rid of everything. Don't want to be bazined over and over and over and over and over again. It is one of my least favorite things to deal with. That's Fire Spray. There's a great answer for that. Okay. Yes, we want to draw 2 cards. Do we care about that card? Care enough. So now we're just going face and taking over. You see how just good this card is? Like, it's just so good. Redemption is good. I'm gonna keep another one of these in case they have an ambush effect, which they do not. Not worried about that at the moment. I can do a double kill here with Luke. Oof, 2 barrages is crazy. We are just doing all the things, right? I'm gonna say the Luke. I do think Boba's going to change. I don't think it's going to be this exact list. I have not gotten around to Boba because I just don't feel like it. Because it's not a deck that I enjoy playing by any means at this point in time because of how popular it is and how played out it is. And then, yeah, you kind of see we just closed the game out. So, but you just saw how much. Look at our hand size. Now they didn't find like a Darth Maul to take it out, but even if they did, we had answers. There wasn't going to be much they could do. And even if it just draws me 2 cards, then it's already gotten insane value. Just being able to cheat it out a turn or 2 early is amazing. So definitely a very fun deck. A lot of power, a lot of card advantage, especially just built in. We have, when we draw cards with Obi-Wan, with Yoda, with Ki-Adi-Mundi, with Ezra, like there's so much card advantage in here. And that is something that Boba does not have. Like we are going to find our answers to deal with them. Just so many answers. Okay, up against Bossk Blue. So I definitely think this is a tougher matchup. Let's really go. Oof. This card is bad. Grogu's not great. Pershing, yeah. Yeah, this is gonna be a long haul. This matchup's a long haul for sure. Okay, we're definitely gonna, first thing we're gonna do is attack into that, kill it, stop giving, get rid of as much card advantage as possible. Those are very good. And that's really our only play. It's not that great against control because they're going to kill our units, but we do have card advantage here. Yeah, we're going to play the Guardian. Okay, Chilson. Okay, play this on there. Okay. Okay, that's a good draw. Plo is a good draw too. But actually, I just want to use this to keep that alive. Force choke. Okay, they took it out. That's fine. We're going to go ahead and get this out so we can activate Plo Koon as a 6/5 and immediately kill Bossk. And obviously that is going to greatly improve our ability to win. That card is annoying. I do think it's actually worth attacking into because it creates a situation where like we think we're gonna make progress, and then it just keeps. Ooh, that's a good one. Okay. Don't need Grogu at all. Mystic Reflection is good here. Okay, that's fine. And that's what I wanted to do, is use this. And then we're going to play this card. So we make this a 6/5. Alright, try to focus more on damage now. We can let that. I don't mind having a weaker unit, but I'd rather have more power, I think. Try to play a little more greedy. Another Plo Koon is good. I think at this point. Okay, well, that was a weird choice. So I thought they should have killed Plo Koon there. But I mean, killing this is good too. Really? I don't know what they're doing over there. They're gaining life. Gaining life is nice. Yeah, we can play that on something. Let's do it there so we can get a little more damage in. I really wish AI was a little bit better. I'm not sure I even want to play a card here. Next turn at 8 resources, we can play both of these. So what do we have? 3, 6. 8 damage coming in, so it's 17 damage. So there's really no point in playing another unit if they have the Super Laser Blast. Okay, we don't need another Ahsoka. Okay, Rival's Fall is a card. That was a good target. Let's go Ezra first, so that Plo Koon can be 6 power, potentially. I don't think we need a third one of those, do we? No, I don't think so. So let's play something that we don't care if it dies. And then go here for 6. And just going to save our units for a potential board wipe. Okay. Well, that's not going to do it. So that was a pretty smooth game. Ezra was very helpful that game. Again, where is it? This card, just an amazing card. That game went a lot quicker because we were able to Plo Koon their Bossk immediately on the flip turn, and then just immediately take away their advantage of getting double triggers on their bounties. They didn't actually play any bounties either. I think when they play bounties, it's a lot different. But that was a good example of a clean win. I think this matchup can be a lot more difficult. A very good Bossk player, it's going to be hard. But you have a lot of good things here. You kind of see how the card advantage, again, because ours is just built in naturally. We're not doing anything extra. We're attacking with Ezra. Ki-Adi-Mundi is just if they play 2 units or 2 things in a turn, which they want to do when they get to 6-7 resources. Every turn they want to do that. Obi-Wan and Yoda are built in when they die. So it's not like we're doing extra things. We're just attacking like we always do. So it's like passive card draw. But the card draw adds up so quickly if it's not dealt with. The make an opening thing, I guess it made sense because they were trying to just gain a little bit of life and remove the damage output, but they definitely should have used the make an opening on the Plo Koon and the Ezra to kill both of those. That would have been the smarter decision. Yeah, we're gonna get card advantage, but you're killing 2 of my units, and that was 9 damage, so that, I think, well, I guess 5 damage because they gained 4 life, but that was an AI misplay for sure. So that was that, and that was a big misplay on AI's part, and then the Plo Koon, Quinlan Vos flip to immediately kill Bossk was just really what won us the game. If Bossk survives a turn or 2, like, the game's a lot different. It takes a lot longer. It's a lot harder. So back for a quick post-game wrap-up. So you kind of see how good Ki-Adi-Mundi is. Like, it's insane. Like, what do we have? Some of those games we had like 10 cards in our hand, and we didn't even do it. We did nothing to try to make that happen. Like in Bossk Blue, like you're actively playing bounties. You're trying to flip Bossk at the right time, make sure you can kill the thing, draw 4 cards, or you're using Dr. Pershing, and you have to do specific things to maneuver yourself to get that card advantage, right? Not doing anything here, just attacking, getting tons of card advantage. It's good against everything. Because we're just attacking in. It's just so good. Like that's probably my favorite part about this deck. Is just getting a bigger hand size while I'm just sitting there. Ki-Adi-Mundi is nuts. Ezra's so good in here. Obi-Wan's so good in here. Luke is amazing. Luke's one of the best units in the game. Let's just be real. And it's crazy. Like, we're 3 sets in, and Luke is still going to be the card that I choose anytime I'm playing Hero Blue. Like, it's going to be my finisher. It's just so good to -6/6 anything. And then the fact that you can double kill things in here is absolutely insane. And then it has Restore 3 for some reason, too. Just such a busted card. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. And definitely, if you try this list out, let me know how it goes for you. I was just talking with a buddy of mine that plays this game a lot, and I just really think that this whole set, after testing out a lot of these leaders, is really going to shake things up. I think Boba's still going to be good because Boba has the ability to adjust to a lot of different decks, and it can adjust itself to be able to match these things. I think waylay effects are going to be a lot more prevalent in Boba decks. I think Boba Yellow may potentially be the Boba of choice, but I could still see Green being very, very good too. And obviously they're going to change because they got some new cards as well. The Cad Bane card is like, what? Why? Like, just give Boba another amazing card. But I still think it's going to be one of the top decks. But I do think that a lot of these leaders have the potential to keep up with it and really give it a run for its money and really shift things around. I think there's going to be a lot of leaders that are relevant from my testing. Like, I think this Quinlan Vos is absolutely going to be relevant. It's extremely good. I think the Force energy and the Force energy in both the hero side and the villain side has gotten better. Jedi lightsaber and Fallen lightsaber have both gotten really, really good. Um, it's just so nice to have more turn one plays for Force synergy. I think Count Dooku is going to be really good. I think any leader that cheats out units is always going to be good. And the fact that the exploit mechanic synergizes with Count Dooku and the exploit mechanic does the same thing of cheating out units, I just think Count Dooku is going to be relevant. I think if you don't sleep on that deck is so good. Especially because you don't just have to rely on dropping big bombs. Like, you can really go wide and be aggressive with that deck too, and then just barrage your opponent out of nowhere. I think the thing with the Count Dooku deck is that I think people underestimate how good exploit is and how you can just cheat out units out of nowhere so easily and consistently do it, because a lot of the units, when they die, they create another droid. So it's just a very, very good deck. I think Darth Maul ECL is going to be good. That's been very strong in testing, kind of similar to Anakin. So I think Anakin's going to be good. My preference of choice for Anakin right now is blue because of the damage to yourself. I think a good player is going to know what Anakin's trying to do clearly because they can read, and they're going to, you doing damage to your base is going to be a disadvantage a lot of times. So I think blue is the route that I have taken with that deck, and definitely check out the video I did on that. What's the other one? Oh, I think Chancellor Palpatine's good. I think that one's one that's tricky because it's a lot more complicated to figure out. Definitely check out my video on that one as well, but I do think that is going to be a very strong leader too. What was the other one that has been good? Oh, Captain Rex, just going wide and just pumping up your units and having that anthem effect. That's going to be good. There's just so many things that are going to shake things up, that this game has gotten a lot more diverse, and I'm excited to see how things shake up. Now, sometimes when this happens, because more cards are coming into the pool, there is one deck that just gets so strong that it becomes to take over. Now, absolutely, that could be Boba again, because it's just a broken leader that should never have had the stats that it has and the abilities that it has. My thoughts on the Boba leader are that it should flip a turn later. It should be flipping on 6. It should not be flipping on 5 as a 4/7. They did. I read somewhere that they put that card in last minute without testing it, so that would explain why it has been overpowered. The passive ability of getting to activate a resource, I think that's fine, but it needs to be an action ability that takes an action, not just you can do it when something dies or leaves the battlefield. I think that is cheap. And then I think it shouldn't necessarily be 2 resources when Boba the leader attacks in. I think it should just be 1. I think the whole leader is just overpowered in every single way. So I do think that if there's one deck that I would say right off gate that could be overpowered again, it's Boba for sure. But I do think that a lot of these other leaders will really give it a run for its money. There's just so many more ways to play this game now, and I think that's going to make it hard for Boba to just streamline things and try to win the game in the ways that it has in the first 2 sets. So it's definitely going to be different. It's definitely going to have to adjust. but I do think it's the one deck that really can adjust to anything, you know, depending on how things go. I do think control is going to get better. I think Bossk blue in particular, because of the red and blue combo. I think that Bloodsport, Bombing Run, those cards are going to be a lot more relevant because of going wide strategies with Captain Rex and Count Dooku and things like that. Some of the other leaders I haven't tested out yet. At face value, it's hard to say which ones. I think for me, I don't really want to make comments on the other leaders until I've actually played them. I think you can sit here and say that certain leaders suck or are not that good, but I think it's harder to say that when you haven't played them. So I don't even want to mess with that. The other ones that interest me are Yoda. Interests me a little bit. Obi-Wan, I think there's potential there in double blue. I think Yoda, there's potential there. I think with yellow, possibly green, but definitely have to do more testing. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please, always appreciate any feedback. And as always, y'all have a good one, and peace.